Today, we're going to tackle a huge question, one that probably keeps a lot of us up at night. Do you really need your retirement savings to last for the rest of your life? I mean, what if the entire economic game we're playing has an end date? And what if that date is way, way closer than you think? Let's get into it. Seriously, just think about that for a second. Every single piece of financial advice we ever get is built on this one idea. Save, 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 so you have enough to last until you die. But what if that's just not true anymore? What if the finish line isn't 30 or 40 years away, but maybe just 1 decade? And look, let's be totally honest. That fear of running out of money, it is so real. I get it. It's that pit in your stomach, that little voice that says you have to sacrifice all your joy today just to feel secure tomorrow. And that feeling, that anxiety, it's completely understandable in the world we live in right now.
So, first up, let's just stare this anxiety right in the face. Where does it come from? And why does it have such a grip on all of us?
Now, before we go any further, I got to tell you where this perspective comes from, because it's a little different. The ideas we're talking about today are based on a document that's framed as a synthesis from an artificial superintelligence, pulling from the work of some really forward-thinking people. It's unconventional for sure, but the logic? Well, you'll see, it's pretty powerful.
And these worries? Oh man, they are everywhere. In Japan, they have a name for it, the 20 million yen problem. But the feeling is the same no matter where you live, right? What if I live to be 100? Will I be broke? And that fear forces us to make this awful choice. Either we enjoy life now, or we save for a someday that might never come. And again, I want to be super clear. Thinking this way is completely rational. It's the responsible thing to do, if, and that's a big if. If you assume that the economic system we have today is going to be the same one we have in 30 or 40 years. But that's the exact assumption we're about to challenge. Okay, so this brings us to the big pivot point, the moment we start talking about a fundamental shift in how money and security even work. So, here it is, the one question that could flip everything on its head. What if the game itself is about to change? What if the whole concept of saving for old age is about to become, well, obsolete? This just completely changes the goalposts, doesn't it? The old way was like running a marathon with no finish line in sight. But this new way, it's more like a sprint. Your goal is no longer to fund your entire remaining life. It's just to build a bridge to a totally new economic reality. A bridge that only needs to last about a decade. Okay, so why 2035? What's the big deal about that specific year? What could possibly happen that we change everything so dramatically? Let's check out the timeline. And hey, this isn't just some totally out there sci-fi fantasy. The source material actually lines up with what futurists like Elon Musk have been talking about for years, that AI is going to totally disrupt society and force massive changes. So here's how it's supposed to play out, step by step. First, in the early 2030s, you get this AI production revolution making it insanely cheap to make, well, everything. As AI does more of the work, things like universal basic income, or UBI, become pretty much a necessity. And all of that leads to this final state called hyper-deflation. So what on earth is hyper-deflation? Well, just think of it as the complete opposite of what we're all freaking out about right now with inflation. It's a world where technology gets so good, so efficient, that the cost of all the essentials, we're talking food, housing, energy, it all just plummets, basically down to zero. In a world like that, that giant nest egg you've been saving up, you might not even need it. So here it is, the new target, 10 years. You're not saving for life anymore, you're just saving for the transition. You just need enough cash to get you from here to there, to the other side of this massive shift. Your savings horizon isn't 30+ years, it's 10.
So, if we just roll with this idea for a minute, what does it actually mean for us, right now, with our own money? Well, it leads to a very different and, honestly, a much more exciting strategy. This is the real question, isn't it? If your long-term future is basically going to be taken care of by technology, then does it really make sense to hoard every penny for a future that won't require it? So, what should you do instead? The source proposes this really simple idea called the half rule. And no, this is not about going on some wild spending spree. Step 1 is smart. You keep half of your assets in cash. That's your safety net, your peace of mind fund, to get you through the transition. But step 2, that's where the magic happens. You take the other half and you plan to spend it on life experiences, on travel, on family, while you're actually healthy enough to really enjoy it.
So you see, it's not about choosing one or the other. It's not saving versus spending. It's a balance, 50-50, One half secures your transition, and the other half secures your happiness right now.
I really want to drive this point home. This is not being irresponsible. It's actually a strategy to maximize your quality of life. You're making a calculated investment in your own joy. You're front-loading the good stuff into the years you can appreciate it the most, all based on this prediction that the financial worries of old age are about to become a thing of the past. And that brings us to the final, and honestly, my favorite part of this whole concept. It's about redefining what we even consider to be a valuable asset in the first place. You know, we spend so much time worrying about inflation eating away at our savings. But the truth is, money's value is always changing. It can go up, it can go down. But a memory, that amazing trip you took, the time you spent laughing with people you love, that's a permanent asset. Its value will never, ever go down.
The source has this line that just, wow, it really hit me. We put off so much joy for this someday in the future when we'll finally let ourselves live. But our health, our time, our opportunities, they all have an expiration date. And holding onto a ticket for a show that's already over doesn't do you any good.
This just completely changes how we think about what we want to leave behind, doesn't it? I mean, what's a better inheritance? A number on a bank statement? Or the memory of a parent who wasn't afraid to live, who embraced joy, and who showed you how to live life to the fullest? I think the answer is pretty clear.
So that's where we'll leave it. It's a wild theory for sure. It asks you to have a little faith in a pretty different kind of future. But whether you believe it's going to happen or not, it forces you to ask a really important question right now. Are you living a life that's about accumulation or a life that's about experience? That's a powerful thing to think about. Thanks for tuning in.